All right. What is good, everyone? What is good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to the stream. JoJo Fridays is live, locked in. Little bit late tonight, but we still out here. Welcome, everyone to the stream. I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic evening or had a fantastic day. Getting the week started, man. We're gonna get the weekend started here, so it should be a good one overall. I know I'm excited to talk about video games tonight. So, what is good, everyone? Let's go ahead and let's get the shout outs started. Big love to Kevin, Clabby, Nandefo, Dior. What's up, Dior? Gibby SG. What up, Shiny X Shady Boy? Easy 52 CBH. Forgot what up, CBH. Jeff Shadow, Bean Queen. Hey, what's up? How you doing today, young lady? Tonight. Triple X 2600. Triple X, I think it's time to get a profile picture, Triple X. You've been here for way too long, brother. You've been here for way too long. We know you in the community. It's time for it's time for a profile picture. Pick your favorite video game character or whatever, and let's have at it. Shout out to Triple X, man. I appreciate you being around for so long. Dr. Smooth, Russell Cunningham. What's up, Russell? Welcome. I think it might be time for you too, Russell. You've been here for a little bit. Not as long as Triple X, but you've been here for a while. Let's see here. Glenmore Register, what's up? Braden, Woken, JJT. I saw Astral Chain 2 as fast as I could. Yes, both ways. Hey, there you go. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Astral Chain 2. New rumor coming in from Nash Weedle about Bayonetta 4 and Astral Chain 2. So we'll see about those. All right. Drew Arco, what's up, Drew Arco? D Money 7Dio. Sky Guy's Quest. WH Asian. Corey Gold Theater. What's up? I love that name, by the way. That's a cool name. Big Perm. Where my money at, Smokey? Let's see here. J2 Kart World. What up, J2 Kart? Yes, sir. Late night essence. I just got done hanging out with my family, so decided to kind of roll up on the stream. Party Man Kart World. What's up, Party Man? T-Dude. Contra 3. Antonio. Hassan. What's up, man? Welcome. Excuse me. Neo Blitz the Frog. Let's see here. Monado Mario. Johnny. What up, man? Welcome, guys. Welcome to the stream. Hope all of you guys are doing good tonight once again. I got rumors of Stellar Blade potentially going on more platforms as well. I mean, not even rumors, just potential because of what has happened with the situation with what Stellar Blade said in a recent investor meeting. So we're gonna talk about that as well. We're gonna talk about that, which should be fun. Should be fun to discuss that. All right. Let's see. Life will change. Yoshi Boomer Sooner. What's good, guys? Johnny. It's Johnny. What's good? I got you. Not gonna lie, I didn't even realize I didn't have a profile picture this whole time. No, it's all good. I mean, if you don't want to change it, that's cool too. I'm just, like I said, you've been here for a while. Antonio's got a pure eye and still got a blank profile picture, so it don't really matter at the end of the day, So, hey, what's up, the cool guy? Welcome. Keep checking my Switch pre-order. LOL. I know, dude. We're so close. We are so close, man. We are so close to the reveal. Literally, next week is the Switch 2, because right now, like, let's just say this week is done. This week is pretty much over. Once you hit Friday, the week is pretty much over. So the Switch 2 is next week, boys and girls. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. By this time next week, if you're buying it at launch, you will have your Switch 2. So you'll already be playing. You'll be knee deep, eyes deep into the goodness of whatever you're playing or watching other people play. So it's pretty cool. Yes, sir. What's up, Christian Smithers? Happy JoJo Friday. Let's get it. Let's see here. What's up, 7Dio? Welcome. 10 days. Yes, sir. Most of the time it was, let's see here. Okay, you're talking to somebody else. Let's see. I remember OJ used to rage when I did have a profile picture. Did I rage at you for that? Sorry for the, oh my goodness. Sorry, my window's open and there is some like motorcycle that decides to like rage across the street for some reason. So yeah, man, it's all good. Man, it's about to be real seeing. Yes, it's all going down, man. It is all happening. It's gonna be a good. It's gonna be a good next couple weeks, man. I am super excited. Super, super, super excited. Let's see here. 10 days. Oh my goodness. Yeah, a lot of you guys on Twitter, we were going over launch hauls. You guys can still, if you haven't shared your launch haul or what you plan on getting for like the first, you know, month or whatever, or like the first couple weeks, or just that launch, you can let me know in the chat too, within the 200 character limit, I guess. No, I'll say that most of the time I was trolls with no profile pictures. Oh, okay, yeah. It's all good. I used to have to wait a month to get Nintendo. I have to wait a month to get Nintendo Switch 2. The person that will bring it from the U.S. to Guatemala will be coming around July. Oh my goodness, yeah. That's unfortunate. Like in different countries, it's tougher because of the situation, right? So, yeah. That's okay, man. 1 month is not that big of a deal. We've waited 8 years plus for this new Switch system, so one more month won't kill you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. What's up, Juice Man Vaughn? What's up, Juan Carlos Gonzalez? Says, what up, OJ? Still have to wait until the end of July to get my Switch 2. Okay, someone is bringing it to me free to my country. Okay, same thing with you as well. Shout outs to you guys. I'm sorry that you guys have to wait a little bit, but hey, better late than never. You know what I'm saying? Like, better late than never. So yeah. Let's see here. Hey, what's up? Going to your brothers for launch is good because it gives some time to practice MK World. Yeah, it gives me a little bit. He doesn't like Mario Kart though, so I don't think I'm not gonna play Mario Kart with him too much because he's not a fan of Mario Kart. I think he's excited for Street Fighter 6. I think he's gonna get that game. I don't know what other game he wants. I think he just wants Street Fighter 6. Yeah, I think he's just gonna get Street Fighter 6. I'm not sure what he wants actually. I think it's just Street Fighter 6. Shout out to Goat. Welcome. How you doing today? Yes, we are so close, dude. We are so close. Switch to Mario Kart World Bundle. There you go. Shout out to Juice. Yo, 7Dio with the $1.99 first dono of the night on JoJo Friday. Says, please, some Square Enix music, please. Yeah. So Square Enix music is tricky. If it's Final Fantasy or if it's Chrono Trigger, that stuff is copyrighted. A lot of it is. So we can do something else outside of those. So maybe we can get some, maybe some like Breath of Fire, something obscure. Excuse me. So yeah, we can do that. We can do some Breath of Fire, maybe. Thank you for the $1.99, Mr. 7Dio. Anybody's $1.99 or more, you can type or pass it, my man. 7Dio. Let's go. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. Are you getting Red Dead Redemption 2 for Switch 2? I feel bad not supporting it, but I hate that game. Well, I mean, I don't know. We have to get it confirmed first, and then we can go from there, see how good the port is and all that before we start talking about if we're going to get it or not. All right, let's see here. Let me get, yeah, Breath of Fire. Wait, Breath of Fire, that's not Square Enix. I don't think so. Isn't that like Capcom or something? Never mind. Let's get Secret of Mana. There we go. That's what I was thinking of. Secret of Mana. Into the Thick of It. There we go. That's a great song. That's a classic Square Enix song. Classic. How does your brother feel about the game key cards? Does he care at all? No, he doesn't care. I don't think he cares. I mean, he hasn't said anything about caring, so I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares too much. No. I'll ask him though. I mean, we'll be streaming, so well, I've got some plans. I can't talk about everything, but yeah, like there's some cool plans that I got lined up. Let's see here. Breath of Fire is Capcom. I don't know what the hell I'm talking. I was thinking of Secret of Mana. Sorry, I literally had a brain fart. I was thinking of Secret of Mana, not Breath of Fire. Sorry, guys. Let's see here. Did the bad ending on Expedition 33? Yeah, let's not talk about that. Potential spoilers. You can reload a save file and do the other ending if you want, though. Let's see, OJ, did you read the rumor of PH Brazil new direct a week after launch? Thoughts? Yeah, he was wrong on the last time. I think he talked about a direct, so I mean, I'll probably talk about it in a video upcoming, but I'm not going to take it too seriously because he was wrong on the last time that he talked about a direct. So, sorry. And I got to hydrate, guys. I'm sorry. So I'll be drinking throughout the whole time because I don't think I hydrated enough throughout the day, so I don't want to faint on stream. Let's see here. Yeah, I saw the Pacers 2-0 against the Knicks. Let's see here. Nintendo Summer Games Fest. Do you think they'll do their own thing? August 10th will be at Summer Games Fest is not something that Nintendo's really needs to be at or anything. So no, they're not gonna show any big first-party games. They're gonna have their own direct. I don't think Nintendo's ever done anything for Summer Games Fest. So no, there's no point. They'll have their own direct. What's up, Creosan Bomb? Welcome. Launch week feels a bit soon for direct. Yeah, I mean a week or two after. I mean they could though. That's just. I mean, I can see Nintendo wanted to put their foot on somebody's neck at that point, right? Just trying to put the pressure not on Sony or Microsoft's neck, but what I'm just talking about is like keep the momentum going, right? Like the last time that we had a direct was April, but like we're still waiting for that, right? So once the launch comes, the games come. Like there's still games even like in the second wave, right? You got stuff like Ride Out, and there's other games that are coming out like later in June and July. You got Donkey Kong, so I mean, there's gonna be plenty to play at the end of the day, you know? So yeah, Breath of Fire was published by Squaresoft in the US, was made by Capcom. Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's why I got schmixed. Shaw X with the $20 JOJO and says, what up, OJ, Juice Man, JoJo Friday, Mobile Opal. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for the big $20 dono. Appreciate that. Getting us to 22 on the board. I don't know how much longer extended we can go tonight just because it's already super late. At least for most of you guys, but we'll go as long as I can for sure. My man Shaw X, you are the eternal homie of the stream. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for the big $20. The Fiber Man representing. Anybody that's $20 or more, you can beat out. I'm passing my man Shaw X on the board, and of course, you know we're gonna have to play it, right? First one of the night. You guys know what's happening right now. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Strike the pose from the JoJo, $10 and up. My man with the 20 though. Hey yo, appreciate that. Big love. Thank you so much, Mr. Shot X with the big JoJo boys. Let's get the combo breaks going. Nintendo had a direct the week before Switch 2 direct, so who knows? Exactly. Nintendo. That's why I said Nintendo could surprise. Good thing about the console from the US is that I'll be avoiding around $200 overpriced just for the console. Yeah, without having to pay like what? The big tariff imports on that one? Yeah. Let's see here. Next week, be most of these Switch 2 misinformation and trash talking kind of LOL. Unless there's a Steam Deck 2 announcement in the future. So here's what I've noticed, guys. What I've noticed with this whole Switch 2 misinformation, Switch 2 stuff like that, it doesn't really matter. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again on stream. It actually legitimately doesn't matter. All it's doing is just aiding people to get the system. It's not working. The whole misinformation thing's not working. And once again, everyone's entitled to be angry or to be mad or to be criticized. I've criticized some things as well. But I mean, it's just not working. People are going to play it. And I think the big reason why it's not working is one, because we all know what the Switch 2 is. Nintendo had a big their direct's been viewed nearly 7 million times. So all the information's there. Most of the information's there. But then there's also been, I think, like the decline of Xbox, I think also played a part into this, because there really is just PlayStation and Sony's not releasing as many games, right? Like because of the whole situation with the whole, live service. Marathon is looking to be a disaster. So it's like, what else is there? Now, Microsoft is releasing games, but the Xbox platform as like traditionally exclusives, that's all gone. They're porting their games to other platforms, right? So right now there really isn't, like, there's stuff to be excited about when it comes to gaming, but at the end of the day, like a lot of just normal or casual gamers or just people that are just not insane when it comes to like the situation on the internet, right? Like they're looking at the Switch 2 like, okay, this is something that I can play. It's gonna have games, that I can play on the go or anywhere. So the misinformation stuff doesn't even really matter. And like I said, I can't prove it, but I'm almost positive a lot of these people that are spreading misinformation actually want one, or they're going to actually get one on the DL. So, and say it's a business expense or something like that. So there's really no point in bringing up like like super crazy negativity or misinformation anymore, because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Like a lot of people are actually just doing their own research, which is good, so there's no point in really harping on that, so yeah. Do you even switch, Brett? What does that mean? Black belt. Do you think after Switch 2 launched, but it doesn't really matter. I don't know if the misinformation will stop, but I don't really think it matters at the end of the day. Like I said, people will see the prices, people will see the games, and people want to be excited about gaming. Like right now, there's not really anything exciting about gaming, outside of just Switch 2. There's not really too many exciting things, right? We're still waiting on, whatever games that were announced. We're still waiting on some stuff, but there really isn't too much we're into year 5 of the PlayStation and Xbox Series, and I think a lot of people do agree, not everybody, but a lot of people do agree that this generation feels like a little bit of a stopgap at times when it comes to Microsoft and Sony, that the next generation will be the true, where things are a bit better overall, because Microsoft will have their identity in terms of them being a major, massive third-party publisher, and that will be the identity, them not trying to find it in between. And Sony will have changed their strategy from the live service to more of a balance of their single player plus the multiplayer, right? So they won't make that same mistake again. So I think that's when things will be exciting again. Right now, it's just, okay, Switch 2, that's the exciting thing. Nintendo has a plethora of games that people are looking forward to. So I think, yeah, going forward, it's gonna be a bit different. Like I said, this generation, Switch has been going for a while now at this point. People are ready for something new. And Microsoft and Sony, once again, they're trying to find their ways in terms of what they're doing. Sony's trying to find their new ways after Jim Ryan and the live service situation. And Microsoft is trying to find their way as just a straight up powerhouse third-party publisher with a console. I've heard Ubisoft with the console, when it comes to Microsoft. So yeah. Let's see here. Triple X. Oh, there you go. There's a profile picture. It says gaming is super dry right now. We definitely need Switch 2 on the market. Yeah. Also watched Stuff Wolf's video about Switch 2 specs. He kind of called out those tweets saying Switch 2 is weak specs. I saw the video. I commented on that video too. I saw it. I saw your comment too. A lot of people hit like on your comment, Minato. Every Xenoblade on Switch has New Game Plus and extra content. Do you see X getting any major upgrades for Switch 2 launch? No, outside of 60 frames per second, no, because it already got an upgrade. And Xenoblade X already has extra content, and it already has, everything, right? It already has that. So I just see it getting 60 frames per second. That's all I see it getting, because it already has the extra content and everything built in. It just needs the 60 frames per second, which is in the code, which I think is going to happen. Shout outs to Nick93, welcome. Shout outs to Shaw X, Odessus, what's good, man? Welcome. The pandemic affected the start of the generation. The industry should self-correct next gen, at least I hope. Yeah, I don't even really think it was the pandemic either, though. Like, I think that really they just made some wrong calls. Microsoft was still trying to find themselves in terms of what they like, going from a first-party exclusive manufacturer publisher to a third party because your overlords say you guys ran out of time, right? That's a big change, right? So I don't think it was even the pandemic. I mean, yeah, it caused some delays and stuff, but I don't think that was it. Their strategy was messed up from the beginning. If you look at Sony, like I said, that wasn't even that was them banking on live service. That had nothing to do with the pandemic. That was them saying we want to do live service so we can make way more money, and that failed. That flopped. So while the pandemic was some factor into things, I don't think it was a factor into the strategy of them messing up. Microsoft, once again, not being able to deliver good enough games with their core franchises. Halo Infinite, the development was well before the pandemic. They were doing a lot of development before the pandemic. They messed up on the graphic situation. They messed up on that, and then they had to delay the game, and they're the ones who decided to make it a free-to-play game, which it's fine now, and Halo Infinite is fine now, but I'm not sure if that's what Halo fans even wanted. Like, did Halo fans want a free-to-play game? Like, I'm not even sure that's what... Who said that they wanted Halo to be free-to-play? Nobody even said that, right? Nobody said, hey, man, let's make Halo free-to-play. People wanted the regular campaign with co-op multiplayer, and they wanted the regular... And they would have paid them $60 to $70 for that game, right? So to me, it was their own decisions, not necessarily the pandemic that really did. Now, like I said, that contributed to delays of games, but their strategy was already set in play before the pandemic, But I see what you're saying. Let's see here. Yeah, because the video showed a tweet saying worst version of Cyberpunk, congrats. So I responded, PS4 and Xbox One version of Cyberpunk doesn't exist. Yeah, I know. Yeah, seriously. Death Stranding 2 next month. Ghost of Yotei, need to finish the backlog. Yeah. Those games are coming, which we've known about those games for a while now, and that those are great games that I think they're going to be really good. I'm personally not excited for Death Stranding, at all. I'll be skipping probably. Yeah, I'll be skipping. But Ghost of Yotei, like, I'll probably pick up at some point. I plan on maybe playing that game. But yeah, we've known about those, so they're finally getting those games out, which is good, which is not a bad thing. That's a good thing, This is true. I was also considering the launch of the console with the chip shortage affecting availability of the consoles. But yeah, and that's fine. That's fair overall. If you're looking at it from like an overall evaluation standpoint, Shaw X, you know. Animal Crossing New Horizons released at the right time in 2020. Yeah, it released at a good time in 2020. I think it still would have been super successful regardless, though. But yeah, it did release at a good time for sure. Is Splatoon 3 receive voice chat update? They'll leave it for the next Splatoon. I think they're gonna leave that for the next Splatoon because the system, I think you're gonna be able to use the voice chat. Like, let's say you're playing Splatoon 3 on the Switch 2, right? You can use your voice chat. Right, like I'm pretty sure you'll be able to use it, but it's not going to be built into the game system. But you'll be able to use the voice chat while playing Splatoon. So if you have your friends that you already know, but if you're talking about like just like built-in voice chat where like you just connect to randos like with the Switch 2's voice chat, no. But you'll be able to use your voice chat while playing the game on Switch 2 if you want, you know. So yeah. Let's see here. What's up, Mustache Man? Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? What's up, My View? Welcome. Could we see Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Xenoblade 2 or Xeno 3 update to Xeno 3? I think updates are more likely. I would love a Nintendo Switch 2 version of Xeno 2. I think that game could use the most tune-ups and tweaks overall. But I mean, yeah, I think what's more likely is probably some updates to the games. So yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, I actually did speak with RGT before the stream started about the whole Nick situation because I wasn't paying attention. I didn't watch the game because I was hanging out with my daughter. But yeah, it's one of those things to where for me at least, I think, you know, the Knicks, I expected them to win. Good thing I didn't take that bet with figure drawing. He was like, oh, let's bet $100 on the Pacers, and I'm like. He's like, you'd win 170, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm not confident enough. That's not my team, you know. So I'm not taking bets on teams that I don't really mess with like that, you know. So good thing I didn't. They lost again, so they wouldn't be looking so good right now. Let's see here. Yo, OJ, be a good friend. Okay, yeah, but I did do a wellness check. He's okay. He's all right. He's all right for right now. Shout outs though. Let's go. All right, let's see. Digital Foundry is so salty. What's Digital Foundry salty about? Like, I don't really have any issue with Digital Foundry, to be honest. I made one video saying that they were struggling to explain, you know, how it's, you know, the whole PS4 Switch 2 thing. But I mean, once again, I guess there was what's it called? There was an analysis of Hogwarts Legacy, and they said it's like somewhere between the the PS4 and the Xbox Series versions of the game. And what did I tell? But I didn't need them to tell me that. I said that. I've said, how many times have I said that on this stream? The Switch 2 is going to be a weird mix somewhere between the PS4 and the Xbox Series and the PS5. I said it's going to be in between. That's what I said because that's what the Switch was. The Switch was in between. You know, and that's the funny thing about it, which that's where I still believe. I still believe that it's somewhere in between for a hybrid platform. That's going to be really good. There's going to be some things that are just optimized and maybe even work just as good on, you know, on Switch 2 as PS5 or Xbox Series because of modern architecture, ARM efficiency, things like that, or developers that are very adept at making games on, you know, on that system. But, you know, in terms of like raw horsepower and stuff, no, it's a tiny little system compared to a really big systems. But that's not what people are looking for. I've said this once, I'll say it again, so I'll say it a million times. People are not looking for a $700 handheld hybrid system. They're not looking for a PS5 Pro inside of a Switch 2 form factor. The system's going to be too expensive. It's going to run too hot, and it's going to have 25 seconds of battery life. You know, that's not what people are looking for. A good balanced system with good first-party games, with good enough specs to be able to support some third-party games here and there, to get the AA type of games, and to just play Nintendo's first-party games at acceptable or decent frame rates. You know, that's really either you lock it in at 30, maybe you get it at 40, or you can do 60 or 120 in some cases, right? So I think that's what people are looking for, and that's what the Switch 2 delivers, and that's the reason why people are super, super, super excited. And that's why everyone's talking about it a million times. So, like, it's not even about, once again, has nothing to do with defending, has nothing to do with anything else. It's just simply saying what is the objectively facts at this point, based off of the information, that we have, the information of me analyzing the market now. I've been playing video games for 30 plus years, 40 years. I've been analyzing the market for 15 years, you know, so I'm just going off of what we've seen historically and everything like that, and also what gamers are saying. Maybe not everybody feels the same way, but that's just kind of what the market is saying right now. Like I said, look at Japan, look at the pre-orders, look at what's going on. It's a big launch. People are excited, you know. And I've said this before. I don't know where my cell phone went, but you know, it was almost like the beginning of the cell phone market, you know, where people were sometimes very hesitant to react to that, but eventually everyone said, yeah, I want a cell phone, you know. That's going to be the thing eventually. Everyone's going to be like, well, why should I just be able to only play games at home? I should be able to play games natively at home and on the go. Nintendo just got the jump on doing that, where everybody else is kind of catching up from the mainstream perspective, right? So everybody else is like, okay, let's make a PS Portal, or okay, let's make a ROG Ally, or let's you know, okay, here's Steam Deck, okay, here's you know, MSI Claw, or here's all these other things that are coming. So everyone wants to get a piece of the hybrid, get a piece of the high-end portable hybrid market, you know, because once again, the more engagement, the more opportunity to play, the more money you can potentially make. There's a lot of factors that kind of go into that, you know. I did not buy the grip yet, Kinesis. I'm gonna buy it though. They assuring that Cyberpunk 2077 was not using ray tracing days later. CD Projekt Red says Cyberpunk 2077 used ray tracing in all modes. Yeah, they've been off because they've been like evaluating like not the press assets, right? So yeah. I think the skeptics are understanding how much Switch 2 can do. Yeah, I think it's starting to sink in now, you know, at this point. Yeah, Nick's down 0-2, guys. I know, AAA job. You know, so you guys go check on RGT. He's okay though. I think the skeptics it's starting to sink in because, like I said, maybe if Xbox was really strong this generation and people were buying their system, I think it might have posed a little bit of a problem, right? Let's just say Xbox Series S was incredibly popular and selling really well. I think that would have posed a bit more of a problem in terms of people probably not buying Switch 2. But the Xbox Series is not doing incredible. And honestly, like I said, I think that PlayStation 5 is doing great. But this last quarter, did you guys see the sales numbers? Sony hit their targets, and it's not like they're doing really well. But year on year, they went from like I think like 4 million to 2.8 million. Right now, the Switch 1 is super old. Xbox hardware sales are cooked. The fact that they're not significantly selling like more, even with the PS5 Pro, right, with that extra, and them being the premier system for third-party games. They sold, I think, 2.something million, 2.8 for the last quarter. That's not significantly, you know, better than like the best quarters that they've had, or like the best quarters that Switch has had, or whatever the case is, right? So what I'm trying to say here is that they're doing good. It's not bad at all, but it's not like it's blowing out everything right now. So there is definitely, what I'm trying to say, there's definitely a gap. There is a place for Switch 2 to come in and sell multiple millions, because it's not like people are rushing out and buying PS5, you know, like hand over fist, right? It's not like that's happening overall. So I think that's the reason why people are waiting for that. People are waiting. They know about the Switch 2. They're like, okay, we know that it's coming. You know, it's gonna be X, Y, and Z, right? It's gonna be good, blah blah blah. So I think there's definitely people that are just waiting for that. And there is, like I said, there is a market, there is a gap in there for Switch to be well. And obviously there's place for all of them, right? There's place for Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. But I'm just looking at it from, like I said, an analytical standpoint. This should have been the quarter that maybe PlayStation just like blows it out, right? Like where it's like 5 million sold or something like that, because there's no stock shortage. So the fact that that's not happening just shows you that there is a gap, you know, at least from what I'm seeing. That's my analysis. Let's see, third-party games here and there. I think way more than that. That sounds like 40% would come over. I think it's 80 to 90%. Is that something that I said here? Did I say here and there? Goat. Do you put? No, I don't put tempered glass on my Switch. No, I don't like using screen protectors and all that. As I understand, the cost of development for a game equivalent to the power of the system made for. Reason why the games come to PS5 or Xbox would be the Switch more cost balance system. No, game development, I mean, obviously, yeah, the more bells and whistles you have, but pretty much a game, it's usually based off of human resources or time spent. So games can be just as expensive on any platform depending on, you know, what it is. Now, generally speaking, if you target a platform first, then yeah, maybe if you don't have to do 4K, you don't have to do all these other bells and whistles, that can cut down on the development costs. But overall, the biggest thing is human resources and what you're going for the game, you know? Hey, what's up, World Renowned? Welcome. What's up, Mr. Black? Welcome. How you doing today? This is why Sony fanboys are wishing on a star for GTA 6. I think that's I think it's part of it. I've seen people say GTA 6 is going to change everything. GTA 6 is going to increase the sales, which GTA 6 is going to increase the sales a lot. Like GTA 6 is going to be huge. If GTA 6 actually launched this year, yeah, that's going to be a huge boost for sales. But yeah, like I think that there's some, right? There's some the more crazy people, not the regular fans, but the crazy people that absolutely were trying to use GTA 6 as some type of, you know, death blow or kill shot, and obviously delaying a year, that doesn't help, you know. So yeah. What do you think about the Doc Trace take the spot of Xbox for third parties? That's already happening, Kinesis. So that's, I mean, while Doc Trey, it's a good video. I watched it on the way home from dropping off my daughter. It's a good video, but that is already happening. So what I mean by that is already happening is that third-party developers have made sure to come out already and say, hey, we're doing this. So let me give you an example. Borderlands 4, right? I think for sure that game, maybe there's no announcement. If Xbox is doing strong and selling and all that, there might not be an announcement right away for Borderlands. That might just be like, okay, it comes out later. What about Final Fantasy VII, right? That's still not announced for Xbox. They made sure to announce that for Nintendo Switch 2 before there's even, and it's coming to Xbox, right? But they didn't even care to, and there's plenty of opportunity and time to announce that for Xbox. They didn't even bother with that. They're like, hey, look, the priority for us going forward with Final Fantasy, we know that Japan's going to be the opportunity for Final Fantasy in terms of sales because of the sales of the Switch 1. So they didn't even bother with that right now. Now, yes, they'll get an announcement. There'll be something probably at an E3 or whatever for Microsoft. They're going to announce Final Fantasy VII, right? But the fact that it was such a big move with Nintendo in terms of that. So yeah, you're already seeing developers kind of say, okay, we need to make sure that we set things up so we don't fall off. So another example of this is having something like Hitman, having something like 007 already, like, hey, look, 007's coming as well. Even though we haven't seen any footage of it or anything, but they already announced we're going to make 007. This is the type of stuff that almost never happened. Actually, I'm going to say this, it never happened on the Switch 1. Switch 1, it was always, hey, look, it might be later. We're going to get another dev team. We're going to do something different. So some of these dev teams are actually making the Switch 2 games in-house. Borderlands is made in-house. Final Fantasy VII Remake made in-house. They're not necessarily outsourcing everything. You know, some of them are co-developed, like Hogwarts Legacy, for example. But yeah, a lot of these developers are actually moving everything in-house and spending more time on getting the Switch 2, Switch Nintendo versions ready to go, which once again, that almost never happened. You know, I'm not going to say never happened, but it almost never happened on Switch 1, unless it was like a Japanese game targeting or focusing on the Switch. Like Falcom started to switch over to saying, okay, in-house development, day and date on Switch compared to PlayStation and all that, right? So, but now we're starting to see that a bit more. Let's see here. Pretty good. Did you hear anyone at Walmart got their pre-order stock for Switch 2? Anyone else here that Walmart got their pre-order stock for Switch 2? Yeah, I saw some pictures on Twitter or something like that. I think outside of AAA devs, games aren't going to require as many resources. What future games won't be on Switch 2 capabilities for the next few years or so? I mean, I think that smart developers will not try to, like this next generation, in my opinion, trying to blow out graphics and cost you even more, I think that's a bad idea. I think that there's so many I would say untapped potential even with PS5 and playing games on that. So if I were developers, I would focus on not trying to expand and make graphics the greatest thing in the world ever. I think it'd be more just focusing on making really cool gameplay ideas. I think Claire Obscura Expedition 33 is proof of this. Obviously games like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, you have titles like Split Fiction. You know, these games are not the most expensive games ever. They don't need to be. They're immersive in their own right. So I think that developers should focus. Don't get me wrong, make great graphics and make things beautiful and all that, but don't make it to where we need to make sure that this blows this thing up to where it's the greatest looking thing ever. I think developers should focus on actually making incredible games and the experiences, and having good budgets and like certain time restrictions for games. Like, you got to plan things out better. So I think in that respect, I think Switch 2 is going to fare pretty well. Now, like I said, there'll still be some Western developers that they have a vision for their game, you know, graphics or this and functionality, and maybe Switch 2 isn't for that. But I think that that's a big mistake overall if you're looking at how much the market has shrunk. If you're talking about outside of Nintendo, how much the sales have shrunk compared to where they were before, compared to where they could be. You know, in particular, Xbox not selling as much. Sony pretty much selling on par with the PS4, which is fine, which is good. But yeah, the problem, I think, is that big gap there. So they need something to replace that gap. So Switch 2 could be that. That was what Doc Trey's video was about. Yes, sir. Late stream, Joe Breezer. Welcome. Bro, I still call June events E3. Yeah, I know. It's by habit, you know. It's by habit. Will Project 007 be on PlayStation and Xbox? Yeah, of course it will be. Especially since AAA games aren't getting the type of ROI as they hype for years past. Yeah, the ROI isn't there because the development costs are going up, and the ROI obviously needs to the game sales need to go up with that. But I'm not sure how these games are not selling like they used to sell sometimes. I mean, they're really making more money on microtransactions and stuff. This is why this so yeah. It's ironic that that anti still think Nintendo games are babies. There's a Kirby game and it's Crazy Lord, don't judge a book by its cover. Ironic that still think are you talking about the Super Smash Bros. Player? Who are you talking about? You mean like anti-Nintendo people, or like haters or something like that? Yo, the real King Rome. Yo, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. Welcome to Elite Ninja Village. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate it, brother. It's crazy that a game that most people acknowledge is pushing the PS5, Xbox Series, GTA 6 after all these years. I mean, well, yeah, GTA 6. I was always going to push the system a lot because of how long it's been in development. Who's more likely for Nintendo to let develop their next Astral Chain, the creator of Platinum Games? I mean, I think Platinum Games would probably still handle it along with Nintendo. So, yeah. Let's see here. What's going on, OJ? Only 12 more days. Yes, sir. Super Christian Mirror. Only 12 more days. Let's get it, baby. Thank you so much, man. Shout outs. Shaw X2, man. Thank you for the dono. If you want a music track, Shaw X, let me know. Only 7 deal. Ask for music, but you drop the dono as well. So if you want a music track, Shaw X, let me know, and I got you, man. Yeah, I mean, it still hasn't hit a little bit. It's still kind of surreal, right? But yeah, finally, after 8 years, going on nearly a decade, we got a new platform coming. So that's exciting for sure. Hey, what's up, Gucci Dolphin? Angry, yo, what's up, Angry? And he says, Angry Vigilante Show says, I'm down to debate Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific. Okay, yeah, we're gonna set it up. Let me talk to my man. Who is it? Let me talk to my man. What's his face? My man Mongunzo, flipping the switch, and we can do Tuesday. Let me see. Let me double check though. Let me check the time. Ooh, Tuesday. That's the 3rd. Ooh, actually, I might be heading off. Oh, actually, no. That's the 27th. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we can do that. My bad. I'm looking at the calendar wrong. Yeah, we can definitely do that. But you need to DM me, like on Twitter. I don't know if you don't have your DMs open, or you need to email me so we can go over the topics, so we know kind of like the rules and the topics. It's gonna be my man flipping the switch. He has his channel, so that's a neutral site. So you know, if we do it here, obviously, you know, I got a lot more subscribers, which is, you know, whatever. It's no big deal. So I know you said you want to dual stream it on yours. That's fine. You can dual stream it on your channel. But yeah, I'm down. But if you want to discuss like the debate topics, we got to discuss like the debate topics and the flow of it. Otherwise, it's just going to be kind of like, okay, we're just kind of saying stuff at each other back and forth. But yeah, I'm down. I know I want to talk about the misinformation thing that you're saying that I'm doing, and all that. And I want to talk about a few other things with your channel as well, you know, because I've noticed a few other things with you. Now that I know who you are, I've noticed a few other things with you. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it for sure. But yeah, man, I'm not going to say I appreciate you, because I don't. Because all you've done, I went and looked, is just kind of cause a lot of people to start like throwing a lot of shade and hate towards me. But that's okay. I don't mind talking to people that are willing to civilly talk back and forth. And I did challenge, like I said, hey, anybody that wants to talk about stuff, I'll do it. But yeah, it's all good though. It's all good. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. You're entitled to yours. But yeah, let's get a little debate going, and we'll see what goes. We'll see what we can go from there. But yeah, you need to, like I said, open up your DMs on Twitter, or you need to email me, or you need to provide an email so we can go over the debate topics. Because like right now we have no debate topics. Like it's just we're gonna debate about what, you know. So yeah. Let's see here. You just made a video about your stream not too long ago. Yeah. I saw. Like I said, and I saw a hella people. I saw that after he messaged me on my last video that I had. He messaged me and I messaged it. So I said, okay, let me see what this guy's all about. And yeah, like I said, hella people throwing shade. Hella, you know, like I said, micro analyzing every single thing I say without, you know, in small bits, only 10-minute videos. You know, trying to make me look quietly as bad as possible for every single little thing, without providing the full context of the stream, which is whatever. Like I said, this is something that I've seen quite a bit on YouTube. I'm old on YouTube. I've seen people do this all the time, and it's interesting, but I'm not going to say anything too more since we are going to have a debate. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to talk. It'll be interesting to talk for sure. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. All right, debate. Yeah, we're going to do it on Flipping the Switches channel, though. We're going to do it on Flipping the Switches channel, so it's all good. Yes. I've seen the disclaimer that nobody actually follows, by the way. Nobody actually follows that disclaimer. You know, and I think that you know that. I'm not stupid, and I don't think you're stupid either. Nobody follows that disclaimer. Your videos are meant to incite that type of anger in people, because one, you call people fanboy and you call people names off the top. So anybody that's in psychology, you're already putting that into their mind that this person's illogical and this person's this way. So it immediately breeds hate from the very top. Now, if you didn't put those name calling in there, which once again already kind of invalidates a lot of what you say anyway, because ad hominem, because you're already calling names, I would be more willing to think, oh yeah, this guy actually cares, you know what I'm saying? But that's not what you do with your titles. Your titles are inflammatory. Your titles are built to get people to be angry and rage bait. They're not built to be more on that. But you know what? I'll say this. I've had a pleasant time in terms of me and you talking. You haven't said anything to me that's disrespectful directly. You know what I'm saying? You're willing to be disrespectful on your channel, which is fine, but you haven't said anything disrespectful to me directly, so I appreciate that at least. But nobody's dumb here. I'm not a kid. Obviously, your channel is built to incite hate and flame the people that you're talking about, because off the top, you're calling people names from the very beginning. So you don't gotta come here and act like, oh my, I tell people not to be this. Come on, man. We all know. Look at the comment section. We all know what your channel is doing. So I get it, though. I get it. YouTube's tough to get traction, tough to get people to watch, but there's certain things that you can do. So, but like I said, we'll save it for the discussion. Like I said, please reach out to me on Twitter. Open up your DMs, Vigilante. Open up your DMs so we can talk about what we're actually going to discuss and debate, you know? So, yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, it's going to be civil debate. It's going to be civil debate. Let's see. I saw the video from him personally. I think many of his points aren't good. They just said that you can't compare Ghost of Yote, MK World. Ghost of Yote is $80 deluxe edition. Like I said, we'll discuss that at the debate, guys. There's no point in discussing that here. We'll get the debate topics and all of that, and we'll discuss the debate topics when it comes down to things. So let's wait for the debate, guys. And like I said, no hate towards him. Please don't send any hate towards his channel. So yeah. How do you open up the DMs? You can email me. My email's on my about page, Angry. So if you can't open up the DMs, you can just email me. You know, if you want to go that route, we can go that route. My email's, like I said, on my about page on YouTube. You just shoot me a quick email. I don't know how to open up the DMs on Twitter, so maybe you can Google search it. So I don't know how to open them up. But yeah. Let's see, for anyone getting their first day one console, enjoy the moment. Everyone after that loses a bit of excitement each time. 360 was my first. I had it 5 or 6 times, never hit the same. Yeah, I can understand that. You know, I can understand that. Let's see, OJ, do you agree that Mario Kart World is just straight lines and they did is dumb? Straight lines. I did read the Nintendo Direct, what's it called? The developer interview, and they said that they try to make the straight lines more fun, you know? So yeah. I have my doubts will be civil with people put the whole rage bait content, but I'm love to be wrong. I think they'll be civil. I think they'll be civil. There's no point in it getting, you know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not mad or I'm not salty. Like I said, I'm not salty or I'm not mad at people who make this type of content. YouTube has a place for everything, right? YouTube has a place for rage bait. YouTube has a place for passive aggressive type of content creators. YouTube has a place for all, like I said, if you want to be name calling and call people names and micro analyze everything, there's a place for that too. You know what I'm saying? Like that, there's a place for that. And I don't have any problem addressing people that do that. But to sit here and act like the whole channel or a lot of it isn't built off of making people hate someone, don't send any hate towards anybody. Clearly the people are going to send hate towards them. Clearly they are. Like that's not clearly that they're gonna do that when you're already off the top calling names from the beginning. So I don't believe that type of stuff. Like, oh, I put that disclaimer. I don't believe that. Clearly the channel is built like that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be calling people names off the top. Once again, nobody here is dumb. But that's fine. It's YouTube. Like I got thick skin. Like I can take that. Somebody calls names. Oh well, that just makes it easier for me to debate anyway. So I mean, like it's fine. It's no problem for me. I've been doing this a long time, and like I said, I ran across many people just like this. He's new on YouTube. I'm not. So I ran across a lot of people that are like this, so it'll be, like I said, a good discussion. I give him, like I said, the balls to actually come on and talk and be mad about it. I give him respect for that. You know, I give him respect for that. But like I said, we'll save it for the actual debate or discussion. Let's see here. Debate for Tenga. There's no need for me to debate him in terms of his opinions or stuff like that. He's fine. Once again, you know, there's no reason for me to do that at all. So yeah, really, when it comes down to it, people are allowed to have their opinions. You know, people. So yeah, people are allowed to have their opinions. People are allowed to share what they want to share. People are allowed to disagree. I think the main issue that I have with it is that people who I would guess like content creators who would disagree, or content creators, like I said, who they see somebody else's channel and they sit there and they say, since I don't like something, you're crazy. You know what I'm saying? Since I don't like something, you're this or you're that, which is fine. Like I said, once again, everybody's allowed, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. What I'm talking about here is the bullshit. Like, oh, well, I told people not to say any, like, to not send hate. That's bullshit, and we all know that, you know? That's complete BS, and we all know that. Clearly, that's what people are going to do. So, but once again, people sending hate to my channel, oh well. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, whoop-de-doo. Like I said, I'm not a child anymore. I know how this YouTube thing works. I've been around for a long time, and I've seen many, many, many people come and go just like this. That this is what they do. So it's fine by me. It's no problem. You know, it's and at least he does have that disclaimer in there. You know, so there's still that, but we all know what's actually going to happen, and it's not like it's stopped in the comment section. People are just allowed to say whatever they want and actually lie, like literally just straight up lies in the comment section, you know. So people are allowed to just straight up lie about what I've said or anything like that, or whatever the case is. So maybe we'll debate that. Maybe we'll debate and discuss that too. So yeah. The Wii console release was one that I remember the most. It was cold as hell. I still stayed in line for hours. Yeah, that was a November release, so it was definitely cold. So yeah. Dreamcast debate would be, maybe I'll have Dreamcast guy on. We can have a more of like a talk about it, not a debate because he's my friend. So not necessarily. I mean, you could debate your friends too, but yeah, maybe we'll have a talk about that. OJ, why does RGT buys the things that make the console 200% bigger? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Felipe. People are disingenuous AF. That's my main issue with Switch 2 bashing. I think that there's definitely some legitimate concerns and some legitimate complaints, which I've said before myself. I think that there's some legitimate stuff that people are allowed, which I've brought up too as well. You know, like, you know, some people will accuse, oh, you never say anything. It's like, no, it's not it. It's that what I'm doing is that I'm not going to be fake with you guys. How I personally feel about anything, I'll let you guys know. From $80 Mario Kart to key cards to whatever the case is, you guys know what I'll say is an issue. If something isn't, then I'm not going to act like it is for me personally. A lot of times we have these people that are just trying to, don't even care about the system, don't even care about the games, don't even play the stuff, but they want to say something, they just want to talk about something, right? Or they see that, oh wow, like, okay, I'm gonna talk, people are talking about this, so I want to get in on that. So I think that that's sometimes being disingenuous with some of the things, or not providing all of the information, or stuff like that can happen to where, yeah, some people are. But no, there's actually legitimate concerns that people have with the Nintendo Switch 2. That's fair. That's fair that we've, like I said, that we've brought up as well, you know? But there are people, yeah, like you said, being disingenuous for sure, 100%, you know? Let's see, I was recovering from losing my leg when Switch 2 was released. Losing your leg? You lost your leg, Scott? Oh my god, I did not know you lost your leg. I'm sorry to hear about that. Well, I guess it's been a number of years now at this point. I'm curious, you have John, the Talk Dreamcast guy, on finding a better job since YouTube gig is barely doing it? What? Curious, have you or John talked to Dreamcast guy on finding a better job since the YouTube gig is barely doing it? I'm not in Dreamcast guy's pockets. You know, I'm not on, I don't know how much money he's making. Or what's barely doing it, or doing it for him or not. So I'm not gonna answer that. I don't know how much money he has, or I don't know his financial situation. You know what? And unlike a lot of these other content creators, I'm not a pocket watcher. I don't watch other people's pockets 100%. I'm not trying to really worry about, you know, like, listen, you know, I'm not trying to worry about somebody else's financials. I don't pocket watch. When people want to do something, if people want to talk about whatever, or ask for this, or do whatever, that's their situation. That's not something for me to worry about. I'm not a pocket watcher. You know, a lot of YouTube pocket watchers out there. I'm not one of them. So yeah, I don't know about all that, you know. So, a person's channel, YouTube channel is representation of who they are. It can be, but there's also a lot of people that are also fake as well. That literally do things just because it can blow up on YouTube. So you've also got to factor that in. If you've played Clair Obscur Expedition 33, or if you've played lots of games, a man can wear many different masks, but the true inner being of themselves might be hidden in the shadows, right? So just because somebody has a persona that they put out on YouTube doesn't mean they're actually like that. Sometimes power, or sometimes views, can be intoxicating. And when they have success with those views, or they have something, it might turn them into something that they're actually not. And once again, this can be carried over to many forms of entertainment, media, whatever. It's not just gaming, or it's not just this. Like, you can be intoxicated in like other types of that, like illicit drugs, right? You can be a good person, but you know, end up selling drugs and making so much money, and it turns you into something else that really you never really were, but it was intoxicating to finally have financial freedom, right? Or something like that. So we've seen countless stories of people get themselves into things that's not really who they are, but they had an ounce or a shred of success, and they decided to kind of just say, hey, look, I don't have anything else that I'm doing, and what I did before didn't work, so I guess I'll do this, you know? So while you're right, it can be a representation of who they are, but that's only if you believe what they project or what they put out. Usually, time will tell. People that are fake will crack, and people that are fake will expose themselves eventually about who they are. It might not take, it might be a year, might be 2 years, might be a few months, might be multiple years, but who you are will eventually crack. I mean, like I said, you can go into sports. Tiger Woods, who he was a serial cheater that had a sex problem, right? He wasn't the squeaky clean image that everybody knew that Tiger Woods knew of. He was a serial cheater, which is fine, that's his business, but the whole image of who you thought Tiger Woods was completely shattered, right? So you also got to keep that in mind, you know. Blue Magic, with the gifted membership. Thank you so much, Blue Magic. I appreciate the gifted membership. Shout outs, man. Thank you. Let's go. Thank you so much for the gifted membership. Just like Baron said, you're too nice with these disingenuous people. You know, I think that sometimes I've been very mean. I've been very, you know, I'll blurt out, and then I think it gives the wrong impression, especially when somebody is constantly pestering or whatever. And then like sometimes I overreact, or sometimes I might be like, you know, like, oh, like leave me alone, you know. But at the same time, like, yeah, I think sometimes I am, but you know, I don't really think that's neither here or there. That's not relative. Like, it is relative, but that's not like, you know, it's not like it's something that I need to work on. I can be working on, like, being balanced. I can always get better too, you know? I can always get better myself. That's what I'm trying to say. Not to confirm, Nintendo Direct will happen in June during Switch 2 launch or week after. Yeah, that was PH Brazil. He put out a new rumor about that, so we'll see if that happens. Shouts to Hyman with the gifted membership. Let's see. But if that's what they become, then that's who they are. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the power can be intoxicating. So it can be, there's many ways to interpret it. It can be the reverse. You can be a terrible person, you know what I'm saying? End up doing something that is terrible, then realize I'm not actually that person, then stop doing it. We've seen people do that as well, right? So, like I said, the brain is multifaceted. It's a very fascinating thing to go over. So, the only reason I asked is because they mentioned staying with roommates forever with the whole Randy Pitchford comment video, and personally just seemed like a bad financial habit. Oh, roommates forever. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, once again, listen, guys, I'm not in their pocketbooks or anything like that. Roommates are good. Like, if you don't plan on having kids, or you don't plan on actually having a family in per se, or like having, like, then yeah, you can have roommates forever. You can save a ton of money and all that good stuff. If you have a roommate, you can buy a house and you guys can all live in the place, and you can save a lot of money because rent is expensive in these days, or these days. But yeah, like I said, I don't know the financial situation, you know, me personally, like I said, I don't really get into that. Even if someone says their financial situation, like, I don't, like, even though we've talked about, like, with DSP, but that's because he's crazy, and, like, he's been asking people for, like, you know, in the past, he's asked people, like, help me pay my taxes and things like that, you know. So we've talked about stuff like that, but yeah, once again, I'm not sure, you know, like, it is what it is. I hope if he has a financial, like, issue or problem, that he can get that situated or sorted, you know, but it's not easy, man. You guys all know, like, the squeeze is on for a lot of people out there. So, you know, I'm you know, I'm blessed and I'm lucky that, you know, I don't, but I've been there before. Like, more than half of my life, no, actually well more than half of my life, things didn't really get good for me until my 30s plus, right? So it's been a while. But things have been okay and stable for me for a while, but I've known how it's like to be on the other side. I've had issues. I've had a nervous breakdown. I mean, at one point in my life, I had, you know, in my adult life with a daughter, right, with a family that I'm trying to support, I had $27 in my bank account. Like, I've been through everything. So when I tell you guys, you know, try to give you guys advice, or when I try to say, hey, look, I've seen how certain people are, I know I'm not afraid of anybody saying anything, it's because I went through more life experiences and issues growing up poor, growing up really poor, you know what I'm saying? Not like dirt poor, but just growing up poor, you know? I've been through that. I've been through pain. I've been through a lot of different things that I'm not trying to project onto you guys, but I've been through so much in my life. I feel like, one, I can be a good example, give you guys some knowledge over different things, but also two, it sets me up to be able to help me to have success later. So I think a lot of the struggle that I went through earlier helped me work really hard to get, you know, to be where I can be stable and support my family better and things like that, right? So I think that's really what it comes down to, you know. Like I said, I don't know Dreamcast guy's situation, but I mean, if I wasn't planning on having a family, you know, or anything like that, or if I wasn't, you know, then I'd probably have a house and roommates too. I thought about it after after my first situation didn't work out. I thought about getting roommates because I had a 4-bedroom house, a big, you know, nearly almost 2,000 square foot, 4-bedroom house, multiple bathrooms. I had a, you know, which I bought before I even started making anything on YouTube. But it was a nice house. It was a good price because it was on the outskirts of town, you know? So I got it for a good price. And, yeah, like, I thought about it. I thought about having roommates. I'm like, oh man, I can really save a ton of money if I just have a roommate or two, you know? But I decided that I'm good. I was too lazy to look for roommates. I was too lazy to actually look for roommates. So yeah. What's up, Paul Gale? Shoutouts, man. Yeah, unlock your Sharingan, man. You gotta train though. You gotta train. What's up, Basement Band? Never got out of the house 10 years. It's a good thing for me. That's all good, man. Listen, I'm also not hating on any of you guys' situation, right? With what you guys are going through. Everything's a trial. Like, if you want to live with other people and if you feel comfortable living with other people, that's fine too. If you want to live with your parents and you feel comfortable living with your parents, then that's also fine. You know, like that's also good as well. Like, I'm not trying to hate on anybody's situation. Listen, it's not easy for anybody out there, you know? It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Like, even I have my situations too. Like, I've got to be, like, if I actually was irresponsible with what I get, I could be in trouble as well, but I'm not, and I'm not materialistic. You guys know me. I'm not materialistic. I just like to play video games. I don't need a sports car. I don't need a really massive house. I don't need, you know, I don't need 5 million pairs of Jordans. I don't need designer clothes. I don't need designer sunglasses. I don't need, you know, I don't need a lot of stuff. Like, I don't need all of that, you know, which is just who I am. I'm just not a flashy person. Never been. Flashiest thing I've ever done is like buy a pair of Jordans. I think that's probably the flashiest thing that I've ever done is buy a pair of Jordans, you know? So that's about it. I drive a modest car. My car is paid off. You know, I could have bought a new car. I don't want to buy a new car. So yeah, it's one of those things, you know? Let's see here. Stop subscribing to DCG after Chris' situation with Bayonetta 3 and Crusade. He took against the game. Later, I saw him continue dumb arguments several times. Yeah, once again, man, like, listen, nobody's perfect. I've had people, like I said, speaking of, you know, the debates and stuff, when I went into the comment section of that one guy, I mean, I had people sitting there making me seem like I was the worst person in the world. Like, I, you know, killed their dog or something like that, or shot their puppy, which is fine. You know, it's video games. Obviously, they didn't mean it in that type of way. It's just saying, hey, I had this experience with X, Y, and Z. So a lot of people are going to have bad experiences with certain content creators or certain things. Not everyone's going to like everybody's style or what they do, or maybe they banned them or they yelled at them. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect at the end of the day. So yeah. Let's see here. Shout out Blue Magic. Yes, sir. Shout outs to Blue Magic. Appreciate Blue Magic getting you that gifted sub. Let's go. Sad. Don't have a car. Enjoy life to full. I think at fullest, right? Yeah. I mean, listen. A car that's a big expense, but you just gotta save little by little. If you save little by little, put together a few, you know, couple grand, and then just see if you can pick up something that's modest, like a modest, you know, maybe even like a late, you know, or like a mid 2000s Toyota Corolla or something like that. You could probably find that for a decent price, you know, that's gonna last you, that's gonna, you know, be easy or cheaper on the parts, you know, to fix the car if something goes wrong. You know, for the first, you know, I got a hand-me-down Corolla, man. I was driving a Toyota Corolla. I was driving a 1996 Toyota Corolla for all of the end of high school, college, when I first got into my jobs, and the only reason why I got rid of that Corolla because it damn near exploded. You know, when I was driving down the middle of the freeway, I heard a boom, and I just saw the freaking engine started smoking. I'm like, oh snap! Luckily, I was able to get off to where there was a Toyota repair shop very close. But yeah, that pretty much the car was done after that, man. My mom gave me her van because I didn't have enough money to get a car. And then I remember I started working back in 2016. I started working, you know, at this one job, and then my sister actually gave me, and then like the van messed up too. So then my sister actually gave me about $1,000 about a decade ago, or so to just put a down payment on a car. So, and that's still the car that I have, you know. She didn't make me pay back the $1,000 either. I tried to give it back to her. She said, no, you're good. So that helped me out get the down payment on the car. But then I paid the car off within like a couple years. I think a couple years I paid the car off. So I still drive that one. So never been to school or college. I've been in the house for life. Never been to school or college. Like, you never went to grade school. You didn't do anything like that. Hey, I've been good. World-renowned shout outs, man. So yeah. My car, but my aunt had a car like that, felt like a go-kart. Yeah. So I got a 3-bed, 2-bathroom house fully paid off, and a cool cat, can afford all the games I want. I'm happy. Hey, there you go. Getting the house paid off is big because your biggest expenditure per month is going to probably be rent or mortgage, you know? I'm glad that you got your house paid off. That's good. How about them Knicks? Yeah, I know. Seriously, man. Let's go. Remember, people, your problems are someone else's paradise heaven. Yeah, exactly. Car's responsibility, gas, insurance, tags, taxes, maintenance. Gotta have, yeah, it really is, man. It's a lot, for sure. It's definitely a lot. J Can says Stellar Blade on Switch 2. What? Yeah. Let's talk about that, right? So essentially, Stellar Blade looks to be developing, looking to bring the game to more platforms. So this was released. Niche Gamer actually spotted this first. Looks like they could be porting stuff. So let me go ahead and take a look at the article here. And it says, developer Shift Up has officially announced a sequel for Stellar Blade alongside confirming more ports for the original game. News of Stellar Blade sequel was confirmed in the developer Shift Up latest financial/investor report, which confirms the sequel is in development and will launch in 2027 or by 2027, so about 2 years from now. It remains unclear if Shift Up will self-publish the new sequel or if they will seek another publisher like Sony. Furthermore, the same investor report also confirms more ports for the original Stellar Blade are in development, confirming the game is probably coming to Xbox consoles and even possibly the Nintendo Switch 2. So yeah, I think basically some people said, okay, well, they're talking about PC, but I think that when they talked about future plans, PC was already accounted for, so I think that maybe that's not it. If you watch my video today, I had a big video where I talked about that, and I showed the chart where it showed like sequel, future plans, so yeah, it does seem that way. As well, but yeah, check out my video too if you haven't seen that. I talk about that and the Astral chain situation, so we're talking about all that, but I actually give more discussion on those type of things. So why do we keep talking about losing teams? Go Thunder, the best team all year. Yeah, Thunder's been the best team all year and they've been doing really good. I agree. Neptara says, what game are you most excited for on Switch 2 that has already been confirmed? And what game would you like to see make it over? Oh man, that's a good question. So game I'm most excited for Switch 2. I'm probably most excited for Mario Kart World because I know I'm going to be playing it a ton. So I'm super excited for that game. I'm also really excited to play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I'm excited for that. In the 60 frames and all that. I'm also excited for Donkey Kong Bonanza, but in terms of the what game would you like to see make it over? I mean, Metaphor Fantasia would be good. I'd love to see that come over. Persona 3 Reload, a Switch 2 version of Persona 5 Royal. There's a lot of different stuff that I'd like to see. Yeah. So yeah, good question, Neptar. Let's see here. Okay, coming to Xbox gives me some hope since Series S will be around Switch 2 power. Like I said, I don't think it really even matters about that, guys. Like, I think developers, even if a game doesn't come to Xbox Series S, that doesn't mean that it's not going to come to Switch 2 or it can't run or anything like that. That's not the barrier for that. Because let's just look at GTA 6. GTA 6 can come to PC, but why isn't it coming to PC? Right? So there's always other factors in play. If a game doesn't come, that doesn't necessarily mean it's just because it can't run. So also keep that in mind. Now, sometimes, yes, it can mean that, but it doesn't always mean that. There are a plethora of Japanese games, right? AA games, smaller games that are not on Xbox Series S or Xbox Series X or Xbox One, and they could definitely run on them, but they're not on there. So keep that in mind, that just because something doesn't come to a platform doesn't mean it because it can't run. Because once again, GTA 6 is not on PC right now. That doesn't mean, obviously, GTA 6 can run on a PC. Can run on various PCs, right? So just think about that as well. You mentioned previous video about possible SMT DLC, both Persona and Vengeance, or just Persona. Well, no. I didn't mention that. Their DLC's done. Jay Rosario. Let's see. OJ, could we get the Wolverine game on Switch 2? I want James Bond. James Bond is coming, yes. 007's coming, but Wolverine, no, because that's a first-party Sony game. Excuse me. So yeah. Can't wait for Donkey Kong Bonanza Diddy Kong to make an appearance at some point, right? I would hope so. They redesigned Diddy Kong and showed us, so I'm guessing Diddy Kong will be in Bonanza at some point. Let's see. Did you think some form of Game Pass will ever release on Switch 2? Game Pass from like Microsoft, but I mean maybe not. But I think maybe from other like Ubisoft Plus or something like that. I think that's a possibility. But I think a lot of developers actually like selling their games to Nintendo fans, so I don't know if those things will come over. So yeah. Too well spoken. There's always more factors. Business is complicated. Yeah, exactly, J-Can. So I just don't want the mindset to be like, oh, if it's on Series S, that means 100% on Switch, or if it's If it means it's on Switch, like 100% on Series S or PS, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of different factors that can play into it, or just like the developers might not be good at developing on the Switch, right? So they might not want to make a bad version of the game. So maybe they could do it, but they don't have the time or resources or money or this and that, right? So there's various factors that can play into different things, you know? Let's see. Did you see the GameCube controller for Switch 2 went up for Nintendo site without invite? Yes, I was able to secure a GameCube controller, guys. So I saw a post from Jake Randall. I think it was today or yesterday. And I just clicked on it and it was available and I just purchased it and from the Nintendo's website and everything I just decided I'll get it whenever they just have it. You know, they'll have more and they had more and I just bought it and it was fine. So yeah, I was able to secure a GameCube controller, which I'm not really excited for GameCube right now because they don't have anything that I'm super excited to play. So it's not like I just got it so I can just get out of the way. So I don't got to worry about it later, you know? So, all right, take it easy, GOAT. Thanks for coming out to the stream, brother. OJ, something just ain't right with Game Pass. When it's too good to be true, things will come to light. I think that's kind of already happening right now, and you're seeing that's why Microsoft is kind of going third party. They weren't able to sell. Game Pass was not a big enough sell on the system to get people to buy the system. So that's already kind of came to light, if that's what you're talking about, CBH. So yeah, you've already talked about Game Freak selling 7 million copies in the year, which they released absolutely nothing, not even classic Pokemons on the eShop. I didn't talk about that, but I mean, yeah, it's Pokemon is a long-term seller. We see the sales numbers for Pokemon. I did talk about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you know, selling so well. So yeah, that's something that we know. Pokemon's gonna sell, whether it's Pokemon Sword and Shield, that still sells. Whether it's, you know, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee, Pokemon, you know, Scarlet and Violet. They have a lot of Pokemon games that are on sale, you know, on the Switch 1. So yeah, they're gonna keep selling those games. The Switch is a super successful system. They have the you know, the bundle, right? They actually have 2 separate Nintendo Switch Lite like Pokemon theme thingy, and then they also have a Switch 2 OLED, right? So I think I have that one. I just never opened it. But yeah, that's what they do. Pokemon Company is a long-term seller. They always sell stuff, so that doesn't surprise me one bit that they still are selling quite a bit. Project 007 should be good. I hope it's like a modern day GoldenEye. Yeah, me too. I hope it's good too. Are any of the Kingdom Hearts games currently on Switch? Or are they yet to make it over? Kingdom Hearts is on Switch, but it's cloud games. It's not native. It's cloud. So they're there, but they're just cloud versions. Phantasy Star Online GameCube would be awesome with Switch Online 4-player co-op. Oh, that'd be really good. I'd be down for that. Saw a comment on someone saying Switch 2 was backwards compatible with Switch 1. Why not just put new games on Switch 1 cartridge? That would actually work to fix the game in GameCube cards. That would not work because a Switch 1 cartridge does not have the read speeds. From what I understand, it uses a faster cartridge for read speeds. Switch 1 cartridges aren't fast enough, so you wouldn't get the benefits or the advantages of the fast loading for the games. So that wouldn't work. It would have to be where you put the game on a Switch 1 cartridge and then you download, right? You download the Switch 2 version or whatever the case is, but that still wouldn't work when it comes down to it. It would still be a game key card in some way. So for example, you take like a game like Mortal Kombat 11 on the Nintendo Switch 1, right? Now, once again, this is just, I'm framing it this way because this is what I think. It's not 100%, but based off the information that we know, that's what I'm saying, okay? So don't take it as gospel. Don't take it as I'm trying to sit there and say this is 100. I'm just going off of what we know beforehand. Switch 1 cartridges, for example, like Mortal Kombat 11 or Hogwarts Legacy, those have so little data on the cartridge. There's barely any data on there. There's like 8 gigabytes. You have to download the rest of it. So it doesn't operate enough, or it doesn't operate as well, or it can't operate at all without you downloading the rest of the game. So Switch 1 had the same issue that Switch 2 has. The difference now, why it's more prevalent on Switch 2 than it is on Switch 1, is that Switch 1 had much lower graphical capabilities, so they could nuke the textures, they could nuke the file size to put it on a 16 gigabyte cartridge, or to put it on a 8 gigabyte cartridge, or something small. For example, Dark Souls Remastered, that's on a 4 gigabyte cartridge. And if you're playing Elden Ring, they're not going to fit Elden Ring on a 4 gigabyte cartridge. That's a massive game. They're going to want it to look good. The Switch 2 is capable of 4K, it's capable of higher resolutions and frame rate. Switch 1 is only capable of 1080p, but the graphics in the Switch 1 are not even really strong enough to get a lot of third-party games running at 1080p 30 frames per second. A lot of them are, like the biggest games are going to be 540p or going to be 600p or 700p. They're not even going to be up to full 1080p, right? So that's the main difference, is that the file sizes for Switch 2 games are much bigger. So even if you were to put it on a Switch 1 cartridge, it still probably wouldn't fit on a 16 gigabyte cartridge. They would have to go with the 32 gigabyte cartridge. And even on Switch 1, developers did not want to pay for a 32 gigabyte cartridge. They did not want to pay for those. I can count on one hand, maybe two, how many 32 gigabyte cartridge games that we have. We barely have any. So really nothing really would change too much in my opinion, because if you look at the file sizes, most of these games are going to be over the 16 gigabyte limit and be into the 32 gigabyte limit or the 64 gigabyte, right? And developers didn't want to pay for those on Switch 1. So I don't really think it would be anything different, or once again, there'd just be partial data on the cartridge and then you'd still have to download the rest of the game. So maybe you get a 16 gigabyte cart and then, but hey, look, you still got to download 8 gigabytes or 10 gigabytes or 15 or 20 gigabytes. So yeah. Let's see here. But once again, that's that. Astral Chain news. We could be getting a sequel from Astral Chain. Looks like that could be in development, according to a new rumor from, who was it again? Oh man, I forgot the guy. But yeah, there was somebody in the chat let him know. I forgot. So yeah. All right, what's up, Riku? Playing Expedition 33. Game is he? Yes, it's very good. I beat Expedition 33, I think, last week. I beat the game. It's very good. I could fit on a 4 gigabyte cartridge, but I would definitely need a higher read speed. There you go. Yesterday I ordered 65. Okay, I don't know what that is. Okay, shoutouts Black Belt. Yeah, I think it's a half truth. People saying game key cards doesn't give you ownership of your games because you can sell, lend, give away the game as long as it's available to download. Game key cards, from what they've said about game key cards, it's not tied to your account. So since it's not tied to your account, you will be able to sell, trade, whatever the card. It's tied to being able to download the game off of that. You have to connect one time, according to what Nintendo said at least. You have to connect one time, you download the game, it verifies it, then after that you actually don't have to connect to the internet unless you're downloading an update or something like that. But yeah, as long as you have the key card, you should have access to that game. So that's pretty much what's set up with the key cards right now. So anybody saying that you don't have, like, it's tied to your account or you don't actually have, like, that's, at least from what's being said, not the truth right now. But I guess we can see later, but that's what Nintendo stated with key cards. They're not tied to an account. So yeah. Let's see here. I beat The Last of Us. The ending was super letdown. Which Last of Us? Last of Us Part 1 or Last of Us Part 2? Let's see. Are you getting a Wild Hearts S? I might get it later. I'm not looking at it like right away. Let's see here. No spoiler cast for Expedition 33 with Spawn Wave. I sent John a message on that. He hasn't reached back out to me because I don't think he's seen it yet, because DMs have been wonky on Twitter. So yeah. Let's see. It's 2-week access to key cards. 2-week access to key cards. I don't know what you're talking about there, and I don't think Nintendo said anything about that 2-week access to key cards. No, you're talking about, okay, what you're talking about, Jaime, is that you're talking about the lending system, the digital lending system. That's what you're talking about. That's not key cards. Key cards you cannot lend out or share with digitally with a friend. You can't do that. It operates as a physical game. That's a completely different thing. That's a completely different thing that you're talking about. Yeah, you're mixing it up with the virtual game cards. You know, you're mixing it up with that. Let's see here. Yeah, hit those likes, guys. If you have not hit the like button, hit those likes. Let's go. The more footage I've seen of Metroid Prime 4, the more excited I'm getting for the game. I hope we launch soon. My guess will be out September. Yeah, I've seen some people, maybe not super Nintendo fans or big Nintendo fans, say that, oh yeah, the game doesn't look good, or graphics, saying like, yeah, I don't think the graphics are the best in the game, but I think the game, it's a Switch 1 game. It's not a Switch 2 built game. It's a Switch 1 game. They essentially just, made it shinier and a bit nicer and run at a better frame rate on Switch 2. But I think it looks pretty good from what they've shown. I don't think it looks bad at all. It has a nice sleek look to it. So I'm looking forward to the game. I think it looks great. Did I beat ReFantazio? Yeah, not only did I beat the game, but I also did a review on it, Jaime. Check out my review on the game. But that was last year. I think my review came out last year. I mean, we talked about that game a lot. So yes, I beat Metaphor ReFantazio. We talked about that game so much. It was my game of the year. It was my game of the year last year. So check out, I put 160 hours into the game. So go watch it. Go watch the review. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It was a good review. I put, let's see here. I put 160 hours and it has 16K views. 16K views. That was 6 months ago. That was a half year ago. So, so since that was a half year ago, go check that out. Go check out that review. No, I don't have any tattoos. There's a review. I lend a digital game card and it works super well. Yeah, from what I can see, it actually works if you know what you're doing with it. With the horrible performance of Monster Hunter Wilds, I don't know if Capcom will make an effort to release on Switch 2 or maybe make a new game from scratch. Monster Hunter Rise sold incredibly well. They sold over 10 million units. It's one of the fastest selling Monster Hunter games, if not the fastest selling Monster Hunter game of all time. So I have no idea what you're talking about, Galactus. Or do you mean the performance in terms of like the actual performance on like the frame rate and stuff like that? Yeah, once again, I think it's optimization. If you're talking about that, I think that they can optimize a good version for the Nintendo Switch 2, just because we've seen the miracle ports and things like that. So if they actually spent their time and optimize it for Switch 2, I think they can probably get a pretty good version running if they spent their time and took the time to optimize it. If that's what you're talking about, that front. I bought Metaphor day one and still haven't beat it yet. Oh my gosh, no. Let's see here. 777, what's up, 777? Welcome. I think it's best. I think it's the best looking Switch 2 game so far besides Mario Kart and DK. Yeah, definitely. It looks really good for sure. I think it looks good. So yeah. Let's see. Wilds will come to Switch 2 once the G rank content is made. After finishing Expedition 33, I feel like you did after you finished Metaphor. All these other games not gonna hit the same. Yeah, it might not hit the same for a while. It might not hit the same. I was glad Expedition came around because it hits the same as Metaphor did for me. Metaphor really hit for me. It's really good. Expedition came along and super hit for me as well. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to like playing Mario Kart though. I'm looking forward to Mario Kart. I'm looking forward to DK. Like those games are like a separate thing, you know. So let's see here. Member for 67 months, Mr. Alan E says, what accessories did you pick up for Switch 2? Yes, good question. I picked up the Nintendo Switch camera, the official one, and I picked up a Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. So those are the two that I picked up. Yeah. Finally got a, let's see, have there been any other games besides Expedition 33 this year that have been good? I can't remember. Yeah, there's been Split Fiction. There's been, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Those have been pretty good games. I liked my time that I spent with Donkey Kong, even though it's a port. But Donkey Kong Returns HD was fun, for me at least. Xenoblade Chronicles X was great as well. These are ports or remasters, but that was also really good. So for me, Expedition 33 has been the top game, then Xenoblade Chronicles X has been like the next best game for me this year. Assassin's Creed Shadows was okay. Oh, Atelier Yumiya was good. I'm waiting for the Switch 2 version though of Atelier. I don't know what's going on with Koei Tecmo. They haven't announced Switch 2 versions of Atelier Yumiya, and I don't know why they haven't announced the Switch 2 version of Atelier Yumiya. Maybe for the next trailer or for the next direct. But yeah, I want to wait before I finish that game. I have it on PS5, and they just did a update for the game that adds more features and functionality. So I want to wait for the Switch 2 version of the game because that game would be a good portable game to play. But the Switch 1 version of that game is really crusty. Really crusty. It has a performance mode and literally nothing changes. It has a quality and a performance mode and legit there's like no difference. Like I can't tell any difference between them. It's that performance mode. It was basically like the meme where the guy just stepped back. It was like you didn't do nothing but just step back. Like it was definitely, or like a tooth, like I don't know if it's like the toothpick or but I think it was probably more of the meme like you didn't do nothing but just step back. Like that's what that was. So I'm waiting for the Switch 2 version of that game because it's a really grindy collect resources, you know, do town building. That type of stuff is not fun on a TV set. Now, that type of stuff is more fun just playing portable. Maybe during NFL season, I just, you know, mindlessly collect resources and grind away, build stupid stuff in my atelier or whatever. Like, that's what I don't want to play it just normally like a serious, like an expedition or like a metaphor. Even though metaphor would actually be pretty good RPG to play portable. Like, there was times when I really felt like just playing that game portable because I was grinding. Like during like NFL season and all that. So I was using my Portal. And Portal is so hit and miss, man. So, yeah, there's certain games that are just better for that. So I'm hoping that we get a Switch 2 version of that. What are the odds of Double Dash Switch on GameCube Online? Ooh. I mean, it's definitely possible. We've got Mario Kart Super Circuit. We've got Mario Kart 64, right? We got those. So it's possible for Double Dash, yeah. Since Hogwarts from WB is getting a Nintendo Switch 2 version, do you think WB will do the same for MK1? Yeah, I think they will. I think they will. I couldn't pre-order the Pro Controller. Sold out everywhere in Brazil. I didn't think it was getting sold out, but I sold out and slept on it. Oh, man. Yeah, Yoshi Boomer. Shout outs to you guys. I know you guys have tough. You guys have it tough over there in Brazil, man. My Best Buy is giving me the runaround when they asked to do the midnight release on June 5th. Not sure why they can't just say yes or no. I think they're still trying to figure it out. Yeah, Dynasty Warriors Origins. That's also a good game too, Nick93. Yeah. Try to tell you, Mia, to no for me. Yeah, it's not everybody's type of game. I love the combat in the game though. So I'm hoping the deep cut Battalion Wars on GameCube Switch. Ooh, that'd be good. Yeah, there's a lot of good GameCube games that I mean, Skies of Arcadia, Beautiful Joe. You could have, like you said, Battalion Wars. There's so many good GameCube games that Nintendo could reach into the well and do. You know, obviously Fire Emblem Path of Radiance is coming. A lot of good games. I think that was the prime time for collecting video games. The best collectors, like if you're a physical guy, if you like physical gaming, the GameCube, Xbox, the original GameCube, the GameCube, the Xbox, the original Xbox, and the PS2 was the best time for a collector. Games were cheap, games were abundant, there were used games, there were new games. It was a fantastic time to be a collector, to have, if you had money. I did not have money in that time period. No, I did not. Not 100%. But yeah, it was a great time period, man. Because games were super cheap, dude. You can get Path of Radiance for like used. You can get it for like 25 bucks. It was fantastic. You can go to any game store and see it used. You can get, there was a ton of GameCube games just everywhere. PS2 games everywhere. Original Xbox games everywhere. It felt exciting to walk into a game store or to walk into a place and what's it called? And buy games. So yeah, Eternal Darkness is another good one. Brazil is worse than Canada. Thought it was even possible. My condolences. Yeah, Canada's pretty bad because of the high taxes first on everything. Thanks for saying there were more GameCube controllers. Just got one. Yeah, if you guys still want, the GameCube controllers are there. Nintendo, I think that, you know, obviously Nintendo's not perfect with everything they've been doing, but I think that they're actually trying to provide a lot of stock of systems and things like that. So yeah. I didn't have money for a GameCube when I was in 9th grade. Glad my dad had some though. Yeah, exactly. Providing stock for the world. I think Nintendo is doing just fine. They're providing there's a lot of stock out there. Seems like it's going to be a pretty good launch. I want the Prince of Persia trilogy so bad on Nintendo Classics for GameCube. Sands of Time, Warrior Within, Two Thrones. Oh, that'd be a good one. There's a remake of Sands of Time coming, so you know maybe they actually put out that, and then we'll see about that. Yeah. Castlevania. Yeah, Castlevania is great. I love Castlevania. Getting Double Dash from the GameCube is so expensive. I hope it does come to Nintendo Switch 2. How much is Double Dash going for? Like, I know I bought a copy of Double Dash for about $80-something like a couple of years ago. So how much is it running for now? Are GameCube games gonna look the same? Might check them out. They're gonna look better on the Switch 2 because they have like the up sampling or like the upscaling resolution and stuff like that. So they're actually gonna look a bit better than what they looked originally because those were 480i or 480p games. So it's gonna look sharper and cleaner and nicer. Just kind of like how all the other games kind of look a little bit sharper, cleaner, and nicer through the emulation. So yeah. Warrior Within GameCube. Yeah, Warrior Within was on the GameCube. Yeah. I have all my gaming systems ever, all the way back to the NES. Nice. Nice. That's good stuff, man. I have a lot of my stuff, but not everything. I got a lot of my games stolen when I was in college. Somebody broke in through my window and jacked all my games, or jacked a lot of my games. Any game that I didn't take to my mom's house, they jacked. They jacked my Xbox 360. They jacked, what else did they jacked, my sunglasses. I had a lot of designer pair of sunglasses. They jacked all that. So I don't have everything. But yeah, I was able to replace a lot of stuff though. Yeah, it's okay. It's been, it's been how many years? That happened in 2009. I think that happened in 2000. It happened in 2009. So yeah, it happened a long time. It happened over a decade ago. Scary stuff. Sorry that you lost a lot. Oh no, it's okay, guys. It's fine. It's once again, I've replaced a lot of those GameCube games anyway. I bought more over the years. I bought those. I haven't replaced all the PS2 games that I lost though. I lost a ton. They jacked probably about 50 to 60 PS2 games that I had. Some of those games are actually rare too. So I haven't been able to replace my PS2 library. I'm just kind of screwed on that. I don't even remember all the games that I had on my PS2, but yeah, they jacked like 40 to 50 PS2 games. They jacked all my GameCube games, which I've replaced a lot of those. They jacked all my original Xbox games as well, which sucks. Haven't been able to replace those either. They jacked a ton of my 360 and PS3 games. Yeah, like all my sunglasses. So yeah, I had a really nice pair of Chanel's. I used to work at a sunglass place, and whenever you work at the company for at least 1 year, they'll give you a free pair of glasses from anywhere. Like any pair of glasses that you want, you can get a free pair. So I remember me and my friend, we had been working there for a couple of years, and we'd get new glasses. But then we're like, hey, we're gonna go to Beverly Hills. We're gonna go to Beverly Hills, like right by UCLA, and we're gonna get like the most expensive, nicest pair of glasses that we can get. Right? So this was like decades ago. This is like damn near 20 years ago. So I remember we drove to Beverly Hills in Los Angeles. We drove there, and I got like these like $700 something pair of Chanel's, which obviously you do like the inflation, probably like what, almost like $800, $900, almost $1,000 with inflation. So yeah, I went and bought we got for free nicest pair of Chanel's, and those were stolen. I was so upset. I was like, oh my god, those are the nicest pair of glasses that I've ever owned. I got them stolen. I had like Pradas too. I had like two or three pairs of Pradas. And I've never bought another pair of designer sunglasses after that. Like, I was just like, yeah, well. Like, I've never bought another pair of sunglasses after that. Like, that's the funniest thing is like, I just said, well, it is what it is. I'll never wear another pair again. Maybe one of these days I'll buy a pair like Ray-Bans or something like that. But yeah, that's funny. I just went to where did I go to? I went to, Walgreens, and I bought a pair of 20 something dollar what are these, Foster Grant. I went and bought a pair of 20 something dollar Foster Grant, so I'm rolling with the Foster Grant now. We ain't rolling with Prada no more. Went from hero to zero. Let's see here. Sorry to hear. Did you ever get reimbursed? No, I didn't have any renter's insurance or anything like that, so I didn't get reimbursed for any of it. So yeah. Let's say, oh my gosh, my cousin jacked my first edition mint Charizard cards. I had 3 of them. Oh man, that sucks. I lost all of my games and consoles during Hurricane Sandy. Oh, my house got flooded. I lived 2 blocks from the beach, so my house was screwed. I'm sorry to hear about that, Triple X. Yeah, that was a bad hurricane. Dude, it's surreal that the world is coming out in less than 2 weeks. Yes, it's very surreal. Been playing Monster Hunter Wilds 40 frames per second. Looks pretty good. Gives me some hope for Cyberpunk running good on Switch 2. Yeah, I think Cyberpunk will be fine. Like, I don't think it'll be too bad, you know. But we'll see. Yo, Kevin with the dollar dono. Yo, let's go. Shout outs, Kevin. Appreciate the dollar dono. We are almost at our next goal here for 30 on the combo board at 24, so 6 combos away. Thank you so much, Kevin, with the dollar dono. And he says, hey, OJ, I was thinking of a JRPG that nobody talks about at all. Radiant, or is it Radiant Stories? Not Radiant. And we'll never get a remake or remaster of it on Switch 1 or 2. Can I get music from Legend of Heroes? Yeah, exactly. That's definitely more of an obscure RPG. Maybe it comes back one of these days. Yeah, shout outs, dude. The Legend of Heroes. Let's just say combat theme. Yeah. I also got my GameCube game stolen as well. Thank goodness I got Super Smash Bros. Melee, Pokemon Coliseum, and Gale of Darkness before it got expensive. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's good to get stuff back in. Let's see, my SNES and Mario All-Stars and Mario World got stolen from my home by my family's houseboy. He just said, I'm out. He just said, deuces. I'm taking all that. Yeah, CAD sucks. I'm somewhere close to 1,100 for a bundle and Pro Controller and 4 Amiibo. I know it's not relevant in USD, but Sticker Shock is still the same. Oh yeah, Sticker Shock is still the same to see $109 because of the Canadian taxes and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. That's still Sticker Shock. I actually left my G1 Pokemon cards on my aunt's trampoline one summer. Didn't think anything of it because it was the summer, so I went back inside and fell asleep. It rained and everything was ruined. Oh yeah, that's terrible. You leave something outside and then you just forget about it. Then oh my gosh. Yo, big love to Kevin though. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Let's go. Combo breaks. I went back and played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe today. The game seems so outdated at this point. Party man, your mind is shifted over to Mario Kart World. There's nothing that you can do to solve the void until Mario Kart World comes out. That's the only thing that you can do, you know? That's the only thing that you can do. So yeah. So yeah. I played a couple races today too. It felt crusty. Once again, because like you're seeing Mario Kart, right? You're seeing Mario Kart. You're seeing Mario Kart World, and you're like, oh my gosh, look at all this. You know, this is so much bigger and more. You know. So yeah. What's up, OJ? My Oakleys I have now and have them for over 5 years. My wife runs through the ZZ's top with cheap sunglasses. Yeah. I was playing Super Mario Kart. The game is harder than I remember. Super Mario Kart's actually kind of difficult. Well, because it has like rubber band AI, so like you got to contend with that, you know. Wow, already doggy Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, dude. We've been doggy Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for like a half a decade. To be honest, it really started getting to the point where I was angry like 5 years ago, which is craziest thing. That's 3 years after the game already came out on the Switch, but that is 6 years after the game came out on the Wii U. So we retired a half decade ago. Oh man, we retired a while ago. So, let's see. Do we have any confirmation Switch 2 will have HDMI 2.1 port? I figured it'll take advantage of 1080p 120 frames per second resolution, right? I think, yeah, it can do 1080p 120 frames. So, I mean, I'm not sure if there's a confirmation. I don't want to spread, you know, any bad information when it comes down to it because I don't know all of the tech details. But according to Nintendo, they can do, you know, 1080p 120 frames per second docked on a game like Metroid Prime. So yeah, we'll see. I love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but man, it's old. Apparently Nintendo had a disclaimer on like the Switch 2 saying that like old HDMI cables that, you know, that aren't compatible with this, like they said they're not compatible even though they probably are, but maybe because of the frame rate and the like 4K, like you need a better like cable like HDMI, so maybe it does have that, but once again, don't like quote me on that 100%. Okay, so yeah, 2.1 is required for 4K 120, but 1080p 120 is still 2.0. Okay, so yeah, it might not have a 2.1, it might just have the 2.0 to where you can do 1080p 120, because from what we understand, it can't do 4K 120. Switch 2 can't do that, but it can do 4K 60. So yeah. Switch 2 can do 1440p, 120 frames per second, 4K 60. There you go. I skipped Deluxe 8 because I had 8 with the DLC on Wii U, and I had my fill. My unironically pick it up if it got a Switch 2 edition. That seems unlikely. It's not getting a Switch 2 edition. No, that's a complete waste of resources. There's no point of doing a Switch 2 edition of that game. What's the point when you already have backwards compatibility and you can already, and Mario Kart World's a launch title, so yeah, that's not happening. Hey, Gloria, yo, what's good, Gloria, with the $20 JOJO? Says, greetings, just wanted to say hi. Hi, Gloria. Welcome, young lady. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate that. Let's go. 44 on the board. Hey, yo, combo breaks. Appreciate that, Gloria. And let's get your JoJo, because it's JoJo Friday. You know we need to get that JoJo in. Let's go. Get the poses ready, boys and girls. Shout out to JoJo. JoJo Friday. Let's go. Thank you so much, Gloria. I appreciate that. Gloria, if you want some video game music, I got you, young lady. I got you. So let me know what you want in the chat. Big love. And you tied up Shaw X for the Stream Ninja and Stream Hokage. Anybody that's 20 or more, you can type or pass up Mr. Shaw X and Mrs. Gloria. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's go. My collection was stolen in college as well. Entire US Dreamcast discography. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry about that, Mr. Reed. Man, that sucks, dude. That sucks. Let's see, Hero with the 20. Dang, yes sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Might want to mentally prepare to get hit and set the 24th place instead of 12. I think the mental scarring that if you get 24th place, the mental scarring that's gonna happen or that happens is terrible. So yeah, that's just gonna be like, man, not only are you trash, but you're like extra trash. If you're getting 24th, you feel even worse. Now, like if you have like a top, like if you play like Mario Kart, right, and like you get 4th place, like let's say you're playing with your friends online in Mario Kart for the N64, you get 4th. I mean, yeah, that's bad, but there's only 4 people. You know, if you get 12th, oh, that's bad. It's bad, right? You don't want to get last place, but there's 12. But man, you're getting 24th. That's just, you got cooked. You know, so I don't know if I'll be able to recover if I'm getting 24th place. I'm not gonna get 24th place. Let me just say that right now. I ain't getting 24th place. My goal is to never get 24th place. You know, that's my goal. So yeah. Question is, who will be the first person to ever get 20? I'm gonna say you, party man. You're gonna be the first person to get 24th place. You are gonna be the first person. I'm gonna make sure that I'm just gonna be trolling you to get 24th place. How about that? I'm just gonna be going directly after you. No, I'm joking. Obviously. Illusion of Gaia, Inca Ruins theme. If you can find it, I can find it. Shout outs to Illusion of Gaia. Oh my goodness, I didn't know you knew about that. You're a lady of culture. All right, Illusion of Gaia. Illusion of Gaia. I used to play this game all the time back in the day. I couldn't afford a lot of games, and this is one of the games that I remember my dad got us. I think it was for Christmas or I forgot birthday. I forgot exactly when I got the game, but I remember I got it, and yeah, it was a very interesting, very weird game, but it's very good. It's very good. Very good game. Let's see here. These I think I got lost in these ruins. Yeah, I got lost. Wasn't these? No, I don't think I got lost in these ruins. I don't think I got. No, it wasn't these ones that I got lost in. It was a different one that I got lost in. So yeah. Let's see here. Illusion of Gaia. Let me see. Yeah, it's kind of hard to because like, nobody cares about this game as much. Illusion of Gaia, Inca Ruins theme. All right, let's see if I can actually find it. Is it the music here? Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, hold up. Oh no, he's just playing the game. He's not He's not. Okay, I have an OST here, so let me see if I can find it within the OST. Inca rules. Inca rules. Oh my gosh, I cannot find it. Yeah, I can't find it 100%. Just people playing it. I can give you a different one though. How about the map theme? How about that? Now, here we go. If not, okay, Gusty Glade Garden. Okay, Gusty Glade or Galaxy, not Garden. All right. Okay, Mario Galaxy. That's much easier to find. Yeah, that's much easier to find. We'll do this instead. All right, here we go. All right, take it easy, J2 Kart World. Thanks for coming out to the stream, man. I played through it 29 times on the SNES. Oh my goodness, 29 times. I didn't play through it that many times. I think I played through it like maybe 3 or 4 times. One of my favorite games on the SNES. Yes, it's a good game. Amazing feeling, feeling you picked out great games and they didn't even know. Yeah. I mean, my dad, like, we didn't have a lot of money, but, like, my dad back in the day, like, NES games, he used to just come home with, like, yard sales. People would be selling their NES games, whether they worked or not. You didn't even know. You would just go buy them for, like, $1, or $2. You would just go buy them for, like, $1 here, $1 there, $1 here. So my dad would just come home randomly with games, not Super Nintendo games, but NES games. So he picked out a bunch of cool games like Contra and stuff like that for us. But when it comes to Super Nintendo, the games were more expensive. So we did a lot of renting instead. But my dad did bring home like Illusion of... Like, we saw Illusion of Gaia in like Nintendo Power. And then I remember, I think my brother was like, yeah, like we want Illusion of Gaia for our birthday. Or like we would used to just like, for like a birthday or like a Christmas. I forgot exactly when we got it. But yeah, my dad just said, okay, we'll get you Illusion of Gaia. Because the game wasn't cheap. So he bought it for us and it was great. I watched my brother play and I'm like, oh, this is super cool. And then I played it after he was done. Let's see here. Performance mode, probably go to my TV. I don't have a 4K TV monitor. Oh, okay, yeah. Man, when we get Final Fantasy VI Remake, that'll be the best one. Ooh, 6 Remake. Let's see if we ever get that. Gusty Glade Galaxy might be the best Mario soundtrack ever. It's a pretty good track. I do like it. Yo, what up, Big D? What is good? Shoutouts. Oh, I watched one of the older cousins play Illusion of Gaia. Nice. The Galaxy music in Mario Kart World is so peak. The music in Mario Kart World is peak. It is peak. It is peak. So yeah. Dizzy's Adventure. Yeah, maybe I'll check that out too. What's up, Jeremiah? Welcome. Let's see here. Final Fantasy IX Remake seems to be the remake everyone wants after F7 Remake. Yeah, Final Fantasy IX Remake has been rumored for a long time. So I guess maybe at some point we'll see it, you know? At some point we'll see it. I still gotta talk to Flip into Switch though. I haven't talked to him about that debate that we're gonna go through, that we're gonna do, so yeah. So yeah. Let's see, I just got to Active Expedition. What an incredible story. Yes, it's very good. I played Illusion of Gaia and Xenogears back in 1995. Oh my goodness, back in 1995. Yeah, I never played Xenogears when it originally came out. I had to play that later because I didn't have a PS1 to play it when it came out. So yeah. But I think Xenogears was a little bit later. Xenogears, that came out, I think, 1990... That was a little bit later. I think in 98 or something for Xenogears. Xenogears launch date. I think that was... Yeah, 98. There you go. I nailed it. 98. Yeah, that was 90. Xenogears was 98 for that. So yeah. Let's see here. Do you think? Let's see here. Do you think we'll see Chrono Trigger remake? And do you think it'll be on Switch 2? As well as a port of the OG Chrono Trigger on Switch 2? I'm not sure about the Chrono Trigger remake. Maybe one of these days. Yeah, maybe one of these days. But yeah, we gotta wait on that one. But I do think eventually, yes, we'll see something, whether a port or a remake or something. Oh no, you're good, you're good. I mean, I mix up the dates of stuff all the time, so yeah. I mix up the dates all the time with things. Let's see here. Mr. White, knowing that as an adult, my mom did more than my dad, who was more of a deadbeat. Oh, snap. Sorry to hear about that, Super Christian Me World. And when else pre-ordered Monolith set from Expedition 33? I did not. It didn't come with the game. I did not pre-order that. It's a nice set though. It's a nice set. It's a nice piece, but yeah, yeah. So I just heard today that Astral Chain 2 is in the works. Yeah, it's a rumor. We don't know for sure 100%. Nash Weedle, that's the guy's name. Nash Weedle. So yeah. I needed it. Yeah, I couldn't justify the set without the game, you know? I love Expedition 33, but I couldn't justify that, like, oh, you buy this nice expensive set. They don't even give you the game with it. Like, not even, I don't think there's even is there a digital version with it or not? So yeah, the shipping costs, the tariffs, man. The tariffs are eating through us like eating through like a piranha. So man, it is what it is though. Yes, I cannot wait for Switch 2. Switch 2 Gloria is going to be very exciting. Looking forward to it. So yeah. Let's see here. See, back in the day, MiG-29 and Dizzy Adventures were overseas games, and my grandma got them for me off HSN. Shoutouts, let's go. I've never played. I don't know if I've played either one of those, so yeah, I'll look them up for sure. Let's see. Are you planning to do any streams or video of you getting the Switch 2 unboxing? Yeah, I have some stuff planned, so just look out for that the launch week. That stupid always been throw a damn code in there. Yeah, throw a code in there, you know. At least, or like a digital, like that. The fact that you can like a redeemable code for the game or something at the bare minimum, you know. So, yeah, I agree. I don't like the fact that there's nothing in there in terms of the, you know. It should come with a physical copy of the game, but you know, it is what it is. Let's see here. The first Switch 2 arc is the Tariff arc. Tariff arc. Well, I mean, luckily the Tariff arc, Nintendo thought ahead of the Tariff arc, right? And they made sure that they what's it called? They made sure that they that they moved a lot of their manufacturing from China to Vietnam. So the Tariff arc, it's still around, but it can get worse if the whole Vietnam situation doesn't clear out, you know? So yeah. Favorite anime? Probably Naruto or like Hunter x Hunter, DBZ. Let's see here. Sitting DuckTales game remake. Let's go. Didn't they already remake the DuckTales game? The DuckTales. Woohoo! I think they already remade that, right? I think they already remade that. So remake the remake, remake another remake, or like they remastered it or something like that. I'm Jazz. I'm going to grade all my nursing students' final exams the next day. Oh, just kidding. Let's go. Shout outs, Gloria. Yeah, they prepared. Okay. It was just prep for the Trump sequel. Yeah. They're prepared for the run it back. Run it back, baby. There was a DuckTales series reboot, I think. I don't know about the game, though. Yeah, there was a DuckTales game. Like, let me, hold up. Let's so we're clear on this. DuckTales, yeah, DuckTales Remastered. Yeah, this one right here, DuckTales Remastered, like the, you know, yep, there is a game called DuckTales Remastered, where I think it's the original game, And then it's just they took the original game and then they just made it into like put it like with HD visuals. So yeah, it's the original game with HD visuals. So it's like a remaster of the original game or whatever. But I mean, obviously it looks significantly better than that. So there's still this, which I think this game, I think it's on Switch. I don't remember if it's on Switch or not, but it might be. But either way, look at this guy. He's just walking back and forth. Like, how lame do you got to be sitting there walking back and forth? You know? So, anyway. Scrooge, shout out to Scrooge McDuck. We out here. We out here living the Scrooge life. We out here. JoJo boys. Let's go. Sorry about that. We out here living the Scrooge McDuck life. We can play the Moon theme, because that's the greatest soundtrack of all time. One of the greatest ever. I'm playing Princess Peach Party Man, and you're not playing Princess Peach. Pick somebody else. So, no, it's stuck on the Wii U. That's why I still keep my... Oh, it's stuck on the Wii U. Oh. Didn't they lose the license for the game or something like that? Yeah, it's stuck on the Wii U. That sucks. This game should definitely be on the Nintendo Switch. So, let's see here. Yeah, that sucks. Nice, man. This game looks good. Yeah, it's really good. I played the game originally on the NES. I remember playing it on the NES and just being, wow, this game's incredible. I love Scrooge McDuck. I'm bouncing on people's head. This is cool. I remember playing it back in the day, and just thinking it was a cool game. And then, like, when the remaster came out, I wasn't like, oh my god, I gotta play, because I played it a million times. So I think I played it. I forgot exactly where I played it, but I know I played it. And then I was like, okay, cool. It's the original game. But I've already played the original game so many times, you know? So, yeah. Shovel Knight heavily influenced. Yeah. Pick Peach, but I'm a different outfit. No, Party Man. No. Pick Mario. You're Party Man. You're a Mario guy. Stop. We're not going to do this again, Party Man. Where I have characters where you know I like the character and I pick the character, and then you decide to pick that character too. Like, you did this in Super Smash Brothers. You and Chupa did this. You guys do this to me all the time, and it's really annoying. No. Pick somebody else. Who's your GOAT? Peach has been my character in Mario Kart since she's been available to play in Mario Kart. I've been alive longer than Party Man. So I've been playing Mario Kart longer than Party Man. Party Man copied me. He copied me. He was a Mario guy. He always picked Mario. Then all of a sudden, he's a Princess Peach person now. Ever since he started hanging out here. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I am Princess Peach. So, I've been playing Mario Kart since the beginning. I've been picking Princess Peach since the beginning. I know I like Princess Peach. It's my character. And Party Man steals everything that I do. Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. I was a Princess Peach main. I was Princess Peach main, and I was who else was I? I was Sheik. I was Sheik and Princess Peach in Smash 4. And what does Party Man do? Pick Princess Peach, even though he was Mario in Smash. So what does he do? Start picking Princess Peach. Gets very lucky that Princess Peach is actually really good in Ultimate and starts winning a lot. I stopped playing Princess Peach because I didn't like the fact that Party Man just started picking Princess Peach while we would play. We would play for hours. We would play back in the, like, you know, in like 2000, like before Smash Ultimate came out. And Party Man all of a sudden just started picking Princess Peach, which was insane because he was a Mario guy. He was a Mario guy. He was 100% a Mario guy. So, yeah. Party Man, you were like 5 years old. You were like 2 years old when Melee came out. I don't want to hear anything about Melee for you. Brawl, I'll give you Brawl, whatever. But I don't want to hear anything about Melee. You were like Capri Sun. You were like Capri Sun coolers back then. No. How are you playing Melee when you were like literally drinking a bottle? Like you were drinking out of a bottle. You were like Rugrat. How are you playing Melee? No. What's up, Psychopie? Hello, you guys can share. No, we cannot share. I'm not gonna have another generation of Party Man stealing my characters. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh man. So on you, Party Man, Kart World, the gaming gods judge you. Nintendo isn't going to put Melee on NSL simply to avoid the crazy ass fandom. Maybe that could be it, man. Peach did not choose you. You saw me using Peach, and then you decided to, just like Chupa. Chupa literally saw me using Wolf and was like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna use Wolf now, you know? So no, that is not the case. That is not the case of that is not what happened here. That is not the case. Now let's see here. Chupa stole Wolf from you though. He did steal Wolf from me. OJ, will you collab with Backseat Samurai? Sakurai? Backseat Sakurai? I don't know what that means. Copy man cart? I love that. Copy man cart. All right, take it easy, Gloria. I know it's getting late in your neck of the woods. It's getting late in my neck of the woods. I've got to actually wrap it up pretty soon here as well. So yeah, we'll probably do 2 hours tonight. So yeah, I think this might be a good time because, like I said, it's already getting to 10. I haven't edited anything, and I definitely have to edit. So we'll probably just go 2 hours tonight. 2 hours would be pretty good tonight. So all right, guys, thank you so much for coming out to tonight's stream. I do appreciate that. We will get more obviously streaming tomorrow, Saturday. I'll look forward to that. I want to say thank you guys so much for coming out. If you haven't seen my most recent video, check it out. It's already got over 10K views, so I appreciate you guys watching the vids. My last 4 videos, have all done 10K to 20K. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not hit that like button yet, hit that like button. Let them know that we're, let them know that we stream over here. Shout outs to the JoJos tonight. Big love to Shaw X and Gloria, both with double back-to-back $20 JoJos. So 4 JoJos. So I appreciate the support. You guys are always supporting me regardless. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate all the Elite Ninjas, the gifted membership that we got as well too. Alan E. Also all the new subs that have been subscribing to the channel. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. Check out my video if you want to watch some more content tonight. The past live streams are up, so those are good too. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate that, and we will see you guys for the next one. All right, guys. Peace out. Love y'all.